and they prioritize stabilization operations. What this means is that in order for internationally funded operations to restore water, power, education, healthcare, other critical infrastructure, before these projects are done, U.S. and internationally funded operators go into these sites and ensure that there are no explosive hazards there. If there are, these bombs are cleared. Once they're cleared, this stabilization support can be safely delivered, which then enables the resumption of delivery of essential services, which then allows displaced communities to return to their homes. This operation, this undertaking will take quite some time. The UN is currently conducting a massive assessment of all of Iraq, and we hope to have the results by the end of this year. The results of this assessment will inform how long it will truly take to clear all of the ISIS bombs from Iraq. Yes, we coordinate very closely with Kurdish authorities. We have a long relationship with the Iraqi Kurdistan Mine Action Authority, or ICMA. We were working closely with ICMA before ISIS to help the Kurdish government to address explosive hazard contamination across Duhok, Sulaymaniyah, Erbil. Once ISIS came, we only increased our cooperation with the Kurdish government. ICMA, the Iraqi Kurdistan Mine Action Authority, is a true leader in the region on demining. Not only do they coordinate the efforts of international NGOs who are working in Kurdistan, they also deploy more than 25 of their own demining teams. This demonstrates a certain level of burden sharing that the United States government appreciates, and it allows us to continue providing assistance to help the Kurdish authorities to tackle this difficult problem of explosive hazard contamination. Well, it's a difficult question to answer at this time. The bombs laid by ISIS range in complexity from simple pressure plate bombs to complex bombs that were built into everyday appliances that civilians use. ISIS did this to intentionally target returning civilian communities. Our demining teams have seen everything from improvised explosive devices hidden in refrigerators and vacuum cleaners to explosives hidden within water coolers. Bombs like this are designed for one reason only, and that's to kill and maim returning civilians. So when you have bombs like that mixed with the different types of landmines that ISIS laid around the city, it's a very complex type of contamination. So we're hoping that the ongoing UN assessment will give us a better sense, but at this time it's truly hard to say how long it will take to clear Mosul City. That being said, significant progress is being made. The U.S. has more than 30 teams deployed across Nineveh, working in Mosul City and the Nineveh Plains, and we're hopeful that Mosul will be cleared, in the years to come. So we currently have teams that are working inside Mosul, and we've had teams inside Mosul, and they started, within 2 or 3 weeks after Mosul's liberation, that have been working in Mosul since its liberation, have focused primarily on critical infrastructure, so water treatment plants, power stations, the Mosul Technical Institute. U.S.-funded teams cleared ISIS bombs from all of these sites. I think the Mosul University and Technical Institute is a great example. A team from our consulate in Erbil visited the other day and saw that people are back in class. Students are safely walking around that campus. So I think the impact of these programs can really be seen on the ground. So there are a number of challenges. The security situation is stabilizing on the ground. However, irregular forces do impact the movement of our demining teams around the country, especially in the Nineveh Plains area. International resources. Demining isn't a problem that's going to be saved overnight. The U.S. has clearly made a long-term commitment to demining Iraq. We call on our other partners to do the same thing. This isn't something where you can invest a couple $1 million one year and then forget about it. We're calling on our partners and the government of Iraq to make a concerted effort to invest strategically in demining in Iraq. Those are the main issues right now. Those are the main issues addressing or impacting demining at the moment. I do not have that information on hand, but steady progress has been made to clear the legacy contamination in Kurdistan. And I'm proud to let you know that the war to defeat ISIS, when that started, or when we started funding demining operations to clear ISIS bombs, we did not reduce the number of teams that the U.S. is funding in Kurdistan. So we've been funding 12 demining teams in Kurdistan, for the last 5 years or for longer than that, and we plan on continuing to fund those teams for the foreseeable future. So while I can't give you an estimate on how many bombs are left in Kurdistan, I can tell you that significant progress is being made to clear those bombs on a daily basis.